Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I like to do videos on canning and vintage recipes, and I'm exploring new stuff in that I am semi-retired. I retired from my career in the newspaper business last end of February, and then I learned a new occupation. I work in insurance now and had to get licensed and work part-time, which is really nice. But I thought I'd have a lot of extra time and I don't. So I'm trying to organize my life and be thrifty and keep to my budget but still thrive and have lots of fun too. And do the things that I retired to do. I feel like this past year I didn't. And I said this last week. And I said every Thursday I'm going to try and get on here and talk about thrifty and thriving. Today I have a cup of tea, oolong tea, and it's hot, really hot. I get the tea bags from the local Chinese restaurant, and it's just, I love it. So that's my little cup I'm having while we're having our little chat, and I appreciate all the feedback I've received so far. It's I think there's a lot of us who are in this stage of life, and it's great, but it's also a little uneasy, you know? I mean, I guess for me, it's like my adult life had such a routine. You know, I went to college and that was a work, and that was a routine. And then I got married and, you know, I worked 5 days a week at least and had children, and you've revolved around their school schedule. And now I don't feel like I have that structure as much. I don't work every day and the days change. It's not like I work every week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. It varies based on when I'm needed there. So one week it might be 2 days, the next week 3. A couple of weeks from now I have to work 5 days because the full-time girl's going on vacation. That's going to be a change. So I think it's been such a transition to learn to not be so regimented with my schedule, and how do I stay focused and fit in what I want, which includes fun and relaxation and things I want to achieve personally, for our house, for our family. And it's been a little challenge, not in a bad way, just unexpected way, if that makes sense. And you know, then life has to throw in its little bumps. My 12-year-old corgi, Ellie, is not feeling well. She's at the clinic. We have to pick her up, and hopefully it's just an intestinal thing is what they're thinking. That she ate something she shouldn't have, or anyway. Well, she has kidney stones or bladder stones, and that's like, that can be complicated. So that went the thrifty part. Thrifty, gone with a vet bill. But what do you do, right? But today we're here to talk about thriving, and I'm a homebody. I love being in my house and just doing things here. And we live in the country. Our nearest neighbor is like a half a mile. I could stay here all week and then go to church on Sunday and not see anyone else. And that's not, I'm a social person. I was a salesperson for years, so that's not good, which is part of the reason I took the part-time job, because I work in the public. But I'm trying to make sure I thrive and don't become a recluse. There's a difference between being a homebody and being a hermit. So I got to find that balance. I'm trying to find more joy and less stuff, you know. Buying things isn't what brings me joy or makes me happy. Okay, one caveat, buying things for my grandkids is really tempting. I think it's kind of like thriving is the art of learning to slow down and embrace everything and try to not embrace our life and not be stressed as much. And I'm a person that gets stressed easily, and it just eats at me. So I'm trying to avoid that and live a more intentional life and with focus. So how am I doing that? Well, the first thing that this year is I'm setting social goals. That sounds funny. But when I was in my previous job, I was in the public all the time and at events, so it was just part of life. Now I need to create those social goals. And my first goal is at least twice a month, I want to have something I do, some activity. It doesn't have to cost money. This month, for January, this Saturday, our local town has bingo once a month, and it's very much a social event, and they have fun food. And this month, I should say, they're doing famous bowls with different combinations, and everyone in town goes, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to bingo. Now, my dad, if he was here, he'd be dragging me because he loves bingo, but I'm gonna go to bingo, not because I love bingo. I mean, it's fine, but I want to not sit home necessarily on Saturday night, and I want to be social. And for me, that doesn't mean going to where there's alcohol and stuff. That's just not me. The other thing I'm going to do is later this month, I think 2 weeks, on Saturday, the local church down the road is having a Saturday where they're going to make the chicken wire sun catchers. And they're going to have snacks and beverages and just a good social time, and we'll all go home with our own. And she's going to teach us how to make them. So I thought that would be a fun thing to do. And there is a cost, but there'd be a cost if I did it here too. And it's not a high cost. And the cost is they need a new roof at the church. So it's a good cause too, you know. So those are my 2 events that I'm doing. I'm trying to stay more active too. I don't want to sit all day. When I can, I stand, but that's different than like getting steps in and being physically active. You don't get that adrenaline rush and, the endorphins and all that. So I have joined classes before, but then something happens, like whether it's a big snowstorm or whatever, and I can't make it to a class. And then I feel like, well, I just drop out then. I don't follow through. And I enjoy it when I'm there, but then if I miss a couple, I feel like I'm too far behind. So the next town over, there's a fitness center inside the hospital, and you can buy it by the month. But see, then mentally I'm going to think I need to go so many times or it's not worth it. Or you can buy a card for $20 and it has 20 punches or 10 punches. I forget how many punches. It's probably not 20 punches. I'm going to do that. And when I fill that card, I'll get another one. But I'm going to look at my schedule and try to go at least once a week. The week I work 5 days, that might be a little more challenging, but I can go after work because I get off work at 4:30. So the first thing I'm going to do is more planned social events. And then number 2 is to be more active. And because it's winter in Michigan, with snow and just walking outside isn't a great plan here. When spring comes, there's a walking trail in town and I can use that. But for right now, I'm going to get that card. And I think it will be good because if I don't get there as many times as I hope to get there this month, I can use it next month. It's not going to go to waste like when I book a class, if that makes sense. And then at least one day a week, I'm going to have a planned out of the house day. Not a day, but activity. Like I said, going to the library, that's free. That's a good one for me. Going to visit someone. Family friend is in not independent living, and I can go visit her. go visit a coworker, you know, that we try to get together. So I'm going to do things like that. And my fourth thing is I'm going to try and get more of a structure to my beginning and end of my days. You know, when you have kids and you're getting them up every day, you have very structured. So I'm going to try and have more structure, especially in the days I don't work. The days I work, it's pretty structured. But I always want to read from my Bible and do some, journaling maybe. I want to limit screen times to not, right now I can get up and I can get on YouTube or TikTok and I can be there, for next thing you know, it's a couple hours. That's not good. Not that the content's bad, but I don't want to just be glued to, a screen. I want balance. I want balance. So I'm going to try and limit that and have my morning structure. And I don't have it figured out yet exactly what. I will report back with that. So this homebody, this person who is so used to a routine and is now kind of struggling to not just become a hermit, has goals on how to thrive. And so those are my goals for this month. They will probably change as the year goes on, as the months go on. I'll vary them, and I will achieve some of these goals in different ways, in July than I will in January. But those are the goals. And let me know how you're going to thrive this year, what your plans are. There's things we can all do to enhance our life and thrive and not get too much in our own heads and not get stuck in a rut. That's my hope. That's my plan. That's my goal. And I think it's all part of, retirement. It doesn't mean I have to go on a cruise every other month or I have to go on a big trip. That's not us, and that's probably not in our budget anyway. But there's things you can do that will still be fun and bring joy. And I hope all of you will find joy and thrive also in whatever stage of life you're in. So thank you for joining me today for my Thrive Talk. And I will report back next Thursday, and we'll have another talk on thrifty and thriving. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.